My name is Tariq Zubhuza. I'm 20 years old and I grew up in Nashville, New Hampshire. I grew up with my mother and two brothers and a sister. One older brother, one older sister, and one younger brother. I was about 13 when I started getting in trouble. My mom was really focused on trying to keep us out of poverty or whatever, because it was just us. I got diagnosed when I was really young, 7 years old, with bipolar, anxiety, anger, and all that stuff. I started taking medication. I was really, really angry. I had to go to a mental hospital when I was 7 years old, man. We had a Boys and Girls Club, and that was cool growing up. It was a big influence on a lot of the things that we were doing as kids. But that Boys Club became uncool at a certain point, around 13 years old. We had a little group of friends, probably 4 or 5 of us. And then we start drinking alcohol. And I don't know, man, I guess my family I have a strain of alcoholics in my family. I'm in school in 7th grade, drunk in class. I mean, if you're 11 years old and you're drunk, it's a problem already, you know what I mean? I don't know how the teachers didn't really know, but you can't so much be focused on one kid when you have 30 of them in front of you and know that this kid is coming in drunk unless he's acting out. I'll sleep during class because I'm drunk or just stay quiet. But when I hit the hallway, that's when I'll be drunk and I'll, roam around grabbing butts and starting fights and stuff like that. I've never been in trouble sober before in my life. I've never been arrested sober before, ever. Anytime I ever got in trouble, I was drunk. You suspend me from school, I'm gonna just do whatever I want. All right, Mom, I'm sorry. But then she'd go to work the next day and I don't have to go to school. My little brother's off to school, my older brother's off to school. I get to sleep in, man. I get to watch cartoons, whatever, man, go play basketball. A lot of other kids are in school, but there's somebody else who's suspended or somebody else who's skipping school. And if somebody's not skipping school, I get somebody to skip school to hang out with me, and I get a girl to skip school with me so we could have sex, whatever. In middle school, I started getting arrested, and I'd get arrested maybe once a month, sometimes twice in a week. And every time I'm arrested, it's for the same exact thing. Possession of alcohol and resisting arrest. I'm resisting because I have alcohol, I know I have alcohol, and I don't want to get caught with this alcohol. So I'm running and I'm wasted, man. I was arrested probably 11 times between 8th grade and 9th grade for possession of alcohol, resisting arrest, internal possession of alcohol, going to school drunk. I ended up going to a placement in 9th grade. You go to these places and it's just a little school that you can't leave. Same kids, you know what I mean? We're all bad kids, whatever. So now who can be the baddest? Even as kids, you know what you're doing is wrong. But it's the risk of losing that reputation, I'd rather risk going to jail at that time. I went freshman year, 0 credits. Sophomore year, maybe a credit and a half, you know what I mean? So I went to guidance. I said, listen, I'm not coming to school if I'm not graduating. I'm not coming to school just to come to school, man. I want to drop out of high school today. And she helped me out. That woman, I don't remember her name, but she was like, wait a minute, pause. Let's not just jump there first. She said, let me see if I can find a way to get you an alternative learning plan so you can graduate. And if I do that, do you promise to do the whatever it is? She got me into a work-study program, so I got credits for working. I had a full-time job. I was working at Circuit City. Every certain amount of hours that I worked, I got a credit for school. And then she got me into a night class, and I ended up graduating, and that was a good program, for me at least. I mean, a lot of kids, I think a lot of the people that I grew up with would have succeeded in that program, but a lot of them you just get kicked out before you get there. I ended up coming to prison because I never stopped drinking and using drugs. If you're drinking and you're doing drugs, just drugs alone, you're probably in a bad atmosphere, you know what I mean? And I basically was around people that I would never be around and placing myself in situations that I would never be in. I'm around prostitutes and crack fiends and cokeheads, and it's just like, this is obviously gonna turn out bad. So I'm in prison for 5 years for criminal threatening. I didn't hurt anybody, I didn't rob anybody. You know, I just kind of got stuck in a bad situation and got sent to prison. Well, my plan while I'm here, I'm studying a couple different languages and studying, like, self-studying psychology. My plan when I get out is to stop kids from getting this far a lot earlier. Like, I mean before high school. When this kid's drunk in middle school, we're gonna stop that before he goes to high school, because it's only gonna get worse. Nobody wants to say, I go to see a counselor, you know? But like, if I had after school, you know, 5-minute sessions with a person, you know, that I could connect with, you know, and we had a short conversation about how the day was and what I plan on for the rest of the day, right? And then leave, and then that's a person that I know I can go to in school and talk to when I'm really breaking apart. And if I'm not, you know, if I'm just not talking to them because I got this antisocial personality disorder, well, it's a person that I have to see at the end of the day. So that little intervention, I can either fall apart in front of them and they can help me figure out what I gotta do next. And if I had like somebody before I got to that point to like just explain, like, you don't need to be cool, like, you don't need to just do things that everybody else is doing. Let's work on this, let's work on that. This is a problem, so we're gonna do that. You're doing great in this area, so let's keep focusing on that. Then obviously it makes a difference. I mean, these aren't like hidden secrets. Like, this is obviously gonna make a difference, but we just don't have, I guess, the manpower or time. As a kid, even as an adult, like, people just don't do things just to do them. They do them for a purpose, they do them for some type of reward. Right now, as I'm getting older, learning is a reward to me. To speak 3 languages, I think, is a great thing, you know? And just knowing things that I didn't know or that I wouldn't know is a great thing. But then, as a kid, it doesn't matter. I don't need to know this stuff. As a reward, I mean, it could be anything, I guess. I couldn't say like student of the month, because if you're from where I'm from, you don't care about student of the month. It would have to be more than go to school because you're gonna need this later on. Go to school because you're gonna get paid if you have a diploma. It would have to be somehow the cool thing to do. It would have to be what people want to do, you know, like more like influences, more older role models. Like, if the older guys that we were hanging out with were like, go to school, we you know what I'm saying? Like, we were gonna go to school. It's finding what is gonna be important for each kid, because there's not one person in the world who nothing matters to. Maybe not a lot, but not nothing.